Hello, welcome to Bear All. This is Carol Gockel. I'm a confidence coach and change maker. Bear All is a series that I co-host with Dr. Mahatharali, who is a relationship counselor and a clinical sexologist. And for this series, we are interviewing our guests. So we want them to be real, to be raw, to be authentic, to share their story, to share what's beneath the surface, so that their story will be able to inspire, to be able to help you to change. And today we are turning the spotlight onto ourselves, not to me, but to my co-host, Dr. Martha Farali. So Martha, are you there?
Yes.
Would you like to introduce yourself to everybody so that we can get to know you a bit more?
Yes, my name is Martha. I'm a relationship counselor and clinical sexologist. What I do is I work with individuals and couples with all kinds of relationship and sexuality challenges, issues, questions, concerns, problems, needs. And I'm in private practice and I also run workshops. Yeah, so that's what I do. You can find me at eroscoaching.com.
Yeah, and Martha, when I first met you, I mean we are connected on social media, and when I first met you, your profile picture really stood out when you were smiling, and I was wondering, what is this, funny, seemingly witty women, working as a clinical sexologist. Because of course I totally miss out, your other title, the relationship counselor bit, and I was like, this is very interesting profession, and I wanted to know what is it that you get into to do this profession?
Yeah, I get asked that a lot. Okay, there are many versions of the answer depending on my mood. Sometimes people ask me, what do you do? What I do? I say, oh, because I love sex and I want to help people with sex. The next thing I say sometimes is it started off with me not wanting to be bad in sex. And so wanting to learn everything that I can about sex so that I can save my own relationship. And of course, sex is just a small part of relationship, but I didn't want that to be the issue why me and my partner would break up. So yeah, it started on a personal note of not wanting to be bad in sex, and then realizing that actually I was so different from everybody else around me. Every single one of my female friends at that point, maybe now I have different friends, but at that point, every single one of them had sex problems. They didn't like sex, they had painful sex, they have no sex drive. In fact, they even hated sex. So I was like, oh my God, like this is like devastating for me to hear because I'm surrounded by all these people who actually didn't like sex. And so I thought, isn't there somebody that can help people like that? So that's how it started my curiosity of wanting to combine my interest in counseling. So I was doing corporate communications for 8 years. And after my first marriage, I asked myself, who am I? What do I want to do? What kind of a legacy do I want to leave? And I started to do volunteer work. My ex-husband, like Carol, was very psychologically abusive. So he didn't allow me to do volunteer work. He isolated me. I didn't have friends. I wasn't close to my family at that time. And so when the marriage ended, I asked myself, what do I really want to do with my life if I'm left on the shelf, if nobody wants me? Because divorce back then was actually very, very uncommon, and this was 20 years ago. So then I said, okay, fine. If I'm alone, I have to be independent, I have to be strong. What kind of legacy? And I started to do volunteer work. And through the volunteer work, I realized that there's such a thing as counseling and volunteer counseling. So I was doing a helpline for women for 3 years. So it took a while. Okay, I need to heal myself. And then I went for that. And then when I went for the volunteer counseling coaching, at that time, I also was doing volunteer work. I started a nonprofit. I was doing this certificate in practical counseling. So all that made me realize, in mass communications, we always focus on working with the masses. But when it came to counseling, it's really one person at a time. And in that one session, I can see transformation in people by giving them information resources and also emotional support. And that was when I realized, oh my God, this is amazing. And another thing that that soon became really clear was I had an aptitude about it. I was good at it. I was naturally good at it. And it was so surprising for me because I thought I knew myself. But when I started to do volunteer counseling and I have people who are hurting and wounded and, you know, crying in front of me, I realized that I became so patient. I was so patient.
Okay.
I was amazed by my own patience, and that's when I realized that this was a gift that I have,
Mm,
and I was just talented at it, and I surprised even myself. And so naturally, my friends didn't believe me when I said I wanted to combine my interest in sex with my aptitude in counseling. I wanted to combine the two and become some kind of a sex coach or sex counselor. So when I got the training in San Francisco, and after I came back from San Francisco, started my practice, I actually started to see a lot of clients, couples who don't just have sex issues, they also had relationship issues. And that was when I felt that it wasn't enough, the training that I've had. And so that's why I went and got another degree. So I actually have 4 degrees, one in communication, one in public policy. This was a degree that I got when I was running my nonprofit, which closed down. And then I got my doctorate in human sexuality. And then later on, this was maybe 3 years ago, I also got my master's in counseling. But there's actually no end to the learning as practitioners. People complain about how counselors and psychologists or therapists, they are very expensive, but they don't realize that we actually have to pay for a lot of things. We have to pay for our office, we have to pay for our insurance, and also a lot of the other things that people don't see, like the continuing learning and supervision that we are expected to get,
mm,
and really honing our skills so that we can be the best practitioner that we can be. It's very expensive, actually. If you look at all the trainings that I've had, I've easily spent more than $100,000, and charging clients at $250 an hour. Like, where am I going to ever get this back? So I actually looked at all the money that I've spent. I really, really don't think I've even recovered what I have spent into my education in my 10, 11 years of my practice. So
mm.
yeah, anyway, this is kind of like me rambling. Do you have any questions?
Yes, actually, from what I hear is what I gathered from the beginning was that the reason why you do what you do is because of personal experience. And I see that this is actually, I would say, it's actually very giving, to be very frank. A lot of people go into this because they're interested, or maybe because, this is like a iron rice bowl. A lot of people who are actually counseled because it's actually, they see it as a job. For me, from what I gather, what you have actually shared so wholeheartedly is you came from a place because you want to help other people. And in order to do that, you have to actually gather all the skill sets so that you can be a step ahead to be able to pull them along throughout their healing journey. And I applaud you and I appreciate you for that, Martha, for sharing this. And I also relate with you in terms of how much money you have to actually spend in order to get to where you are today, to be able to support and leave others and to help others. And by charging $250 is really not, is to be very frank, it's not a lot of money. And I'm actually curious because since you actually brought that up, would people come to you and say, hey, look, I don't have money, Martha, I really, really needed your help. Do you think you can actually coach me for a lower amount of money?
Yes. So honestly speaking, there are practitioners who do it for the money, just like any industry. And after being in practice for so long, there are also people who get burnt out. I did get burnt out before. And so when people tell me that I'm too expensive, one of the things that I have done and taken responsibility to make available for as many people as I can is free resources. So I have about 800 videos on YouTube so far, sharing about different aspects of sexuality. So there's a lot of free content out there for people who are looking for it. YouTube videos, articles, blogs, there's so much of it. But for people who insist on coming to see me for individualized, personalized, customized coaching, counseling, my time is for hire. And when they ask me for discount, honestly speaking, I do give discounts, but I don't give discounts when people insist and throw it in my face. I give discounts based on intuition. If I feel
Wow.
that they really need it, I will offer it. So it's not just about money. It's not just about money. However, I do need to make a living, and people don't seem to understand that because of the niche that I am in,
Mm,
I don't really have like a full load. of clients. And in fact, I don't want to have a full load of clients, because I want to show up 200% with every client, because what they're paying for is actually not just the 1 hour. I have to block out time before the session, and then after the session I actually do a summary of the session, and then I continue to provide support for the client. Even after the session, I provide email support, and where needed, other things. So they don't realize that this 1 hour is not 1 hour. I think this is the issue with a lot of practitioners, that they think it's just that, but it's actually a lot more.
Okay, well, can I have your permission to ask you some hard questions? Is that okay with you?
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
Okay, well, you mentioned that you yourself, you are divorced, so you have been through this, failed marriage. So you have this understanding that, what it takes, right, to be on your own, to be single and then being married and then to be single again. So you're able to actually to help people who has sexual issues. And I also realized that, being single yourself, then would couple come to you and say, who do you think you are to be able to counsel us when you yourself are not in a marriage?
Yes, I have had, so first of all, when I first started my practice 11 years ago, I was dating my second husband, and then eventually we got married. So it was very devastating when we got a divorce. And actually both my ex-husbands were very similar. They were both psychologically abusive. They were both Pisces. I don't know whether there's a link. And honestly, the second marriage was much more devastating, because I thought that I would have learned the lessons that I need to learn to make sure that I choose the right guy. But there is no formalized class on how to find a husband and the telltale signs. And also what I was training in was in sexuality, not on relationships. And so I didn't really announce it to the world that I'm single. And for many years, actually, I was in a lot of shame and embarrassment. I felt that I couldn't teach people on relationships and communication, because I myself didn't like heal or sort myself out. And it took a while for me to kind of understand that I need to stop seeing being single as if it's a character flaw. There are many reasons why people are single. And one of the biggest reason why I feel that I'm still single is because it's very difficult for me to find the time to date. Because when people are free, I'm not free. I'm actually seeing clients on weekday evenings and weekends. And these are the times that people are dating. And these are the times that people are going out networking. And a lot of times I'm actually seeing clients. Also, because I'm an introvert, I'm an empath, I need a lot of time by myself to heal myself, to rest. Amongst all the putting myself out there, I actually need a lot of time to rest. And so this has affected my personal life for sure. However, my professional life is very rewarding. I see my clients heal and move on with their lives, sometimes have their baby and things like that. So definitely it has taken a toll on my personal life, my work, and I love supporting people. And this is something that I continue to grapple with, which is the balance with my personal life and my professional life. So when I have clients come in and I admit to them that I'm divorced and I don't want them to repeat the same mistakes that I have gone through, including not having clear boundaries, not knowing myself, not speaking my truth, not understanding the complexities of the relationship dynamics of couples, the kind of masculine thinking, and the way to be a more effective communicator. I think I was effective communicator, but when it comes to relationship, your partner doesn't really want you to be that direct. Sometimes it can be a bit fun and funny to play little games with each other, and not treat everything as if it's a battle, or like fight to the end kind, fight to the death kind of a scenario. I think a lot of it is so subtle that we don't pick it up in official communication classes. A lot of communication classes just tell you be direct, speak the truth, but sometimes be direct, speaking the truth doesn't support your relationship. So anyway, I teach my clients this. And one thing I realized is that most people, once they get to know you and they see that you are trying to support them with everything that you know, including your personal story,
Mm-hmm.
they are actually not judgmental at all. And it is the judgmental people who won't come to me as my clients anyway in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
So I felt more and more comfortable with sharing with people, yeah, I'm divorced, I'm not perfect, forgive me. So sometimes I turn it into a joke and we can laugh about it and move on, because it's less about me and more whether I can use the skills, knowledge, experiences that I have to support them. They are more interested where I can support them. And when I can put the light on them instead, I think a lot of people just like, yeah, actually I don't really care about you. I just care about whether you can help me.
Yeah, and then thank you so much for sharing so many things. And just to have a little bit of summary, the thing is that, you are what you do because, not because of your own personal life. It's actually your qualification and your heart to give and to serve your client. Because whatever you're going through in your personal life got nothing in relation to what your client is doing, because your focus is on them, not on yourself. And that's why you are able to do what you do so effectively as well. And
Yeah, it's taken a long time actually. It's taken a long time. When I was going through my counseling training, uh, honestly, and coaching training, I have many trainings. They actually shared that we need to not just hear what we hear from our clients in terms of words. We have to see with our eyes, what is not expressed verbally, hear and see. But we also need to sense. We need to sense what they're feeling. And because I'm an empath, at first I was trying to understand what my teacher was saying, see, hear, and feel. But over time, it actually became easier and easier to not just feel, but actually also sense what is unspoken. They want to say, but they didn't say it. And so with time and experience, I feel that I have become very, very, very good at what I do because I'm also quite intuitive. So I can cut through all that bullshit, but yet I need to understand, depending on where my clients are at, what kind of a tone, what kind of words I need to use so that they feel comfortable. So this is really an art. And I like it because everybody who comes, even if they have the same issue, they are very different. So I have to remind myself not to be jaded about my work, because I do get burnt out. I do get tired. I do get overwhelmed. So every day I realize that I need to take full responsibility for myself and my mood and my energy by first taking care of myself, doing the things that makes me feel good, whether it's exercise, whether it's to do the things that are fun and funny for myself, like watch Netflix or play computer games. Not too much, just little bit of different things that I like to do, so that I fill up my love tank so that I am at peak performance, I'm optimal, and then I can serve other people. And then when I give and give and give, I'm not going to get resentful and tired and burnt out. So this has become much, much easier over time, but it was not so easy for me the first few years of my practice. It really took me a while to really learn the lessons that I needed to learn, which is my clients cannot give to me because they're not in the position to give to me energy or heal me or thank me. Is I need to take complete responsibility in that area. I think a lot of my clients, especially women, they give and give and give and give, but they don't know how to replenish myself. So it took me a long time to learn how to replenish myself so that I can look the way that I look now. So that day, remember, Carol, you were saying that I look younger than I used to look.
Yes, I remember giving you that comment, and since that you brought it up, and the thing is that you definitely show that you're giving, because from our conversation right now, you are giving so much value, you're giving advice at the same time when you're answering the questions. You really come from giving space, and I really understand that you are. But I'm actually also a bit wondering, because we are all Asians, right? For Asians, when it comes to sex act, to be very frank, for me, when I was growing up, sex education was like zero within the family. I have to learn about it through my friend. I have to learn about it from external sources. So does it make your work really, really difficult? Because people might actually judge you and say, why are you doing this? This is so disgusting. You are you call yourself a sexologist. Like, why do you even want to choose this profession?
Yes, there are people who, when I first started my practice, did say that to me. Like, oh, they call me the sexy sexologist, which really annoyed me because I have all this training. I just happen to be a woman, and now you expect me to also take on the persona of sexy. And like, I'm not here to seduce you. But I realize sexiness is also part of health. It's also part of being comfortable with my body and with being a woman. And so it took me a while to actually heal myself in terms of like dressing up and all these things. So I do the best that I can. But yes, there are people who say it's obscene, it's dirty, it's disgusting. There are people who judge me. So I can look at the positive or I can look at the negative. The positive is I've seen so much transformation. By holding space and calling myself a sexologist, people can find me easily. And I have created this niche and specialization. I'm very fortunate. I get a lot of media coverage because of this differentiation and because of the specialized training that I've had. But there are actually many, many practitioners out there. They don't call themselves a sexologist, but they actually do support clients with their sexuality. So maybe they may call themselves a psychologist, may call themselves an empowerment coach, whatever they call themselves. So it's very important when you try to hire someone, look at their training, experience, expertise, specialization, supervision. Because there are people who call themselves a sex coach, but actually they don't have any training, only then tantra, like attend a certificate and call themselves a sex coach. So anybody can call themselves whatever, but we need to be discerning who we hire.
Yep.
Because what we park our time, money, effort can actually affect the status of the relationship. Like for instance, if too much time has gone by, some of my clients, they wasted some time going to different kinds of people who didn't really help them, and it may result in the cost of their marriage or relationship. So I like the fact that I put myself out there as the sex expert, because I know I know that I'm good.
Yes.
And they can find me. So those people who say that why are you doing all this, they don't realize I love what I do and I'm effective in what I do, and I've seen so many people helped by what I do. So I focus on the people that I can help and have helped, rather than those people who laugh at me, make funny faces and all that. And then because I've been doing this long enough, the very people who make those kind of comments and faces about me are the very people who come and see me later on. So sometimes when I get this kind of response, I just tell myself, okay, just wait and see whether you're one of those people who will eventually come and see me. At least they know what I do, and that I'm here to help them if they want help.
True. And thank you so much, Martha, for sharing so much. What I hear is, you don't let naysayers get you down, and for you to continue being courageous, to continue doing what you do, because you know that you are here for a higher purpose and you are here to serve others. And also things I really admire you for the time that and effort that you put in to get the skill sets that you have today, so that you are able to give to your customers, to the people who come see, the people who really, really needed the help. And the amount of money that you invested into to be better yourself, it's invaluable compared to the possibilities that you have offered them, invaluable to the hope that you have given them, and a new path. And you definitely, from what I hear, so you definitely know what you're doing, and you're very, very good at it. I am very, very pleased and also very, very blessed to know someone like you as well. So ladies and gentlemen, audience, this is Dr. Martha Sarah Lee in Bear All, and for her sharing all this with you, I'm very, very certain you know how to actually to pick to pick the gems away from all the trash. Okay, she's definitely a gem. So do find out how to get in touch with Dr. Martha Lee. And Dr. Martha, would you be able to just let our audience know how to get in touch with you once again?
Yes, thank you. So you can find me at eroscoaching.com. You can subscribe to my newsletter. That's where I share the most juicy things about my work. And yeah, I'm trying to I share more with my email subscribers. So yeah, subscribe to my emails at eroscoaching.com.
Thank you so much, Martha, for coming on to the show, to being my co-host and to be the pilot, you know, for this whole series, Bear All. Everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. And this is Bear All. I'm Carol Gockel signing off. And keep a lookout for our next episode. Bye-bye.